I
Ojibwe.
hope you had a pleasant morning so far, and don't take the world too serious. We've done it so many times we can't even remember. So I will try to behave myself, but I make no promises. Must be the orange juice. Anyway, well, I'll say good morning. And I hope it has been a pleasant morning so far, peaceful morning so far. You probably have done a fair amount of work, more than you thought you would do this morning already. Just to give a format, I believe Thursday was Sojong, the full moon. So we'll do the practice of Longvadra Sattva today. And so we'll work from the collected short sadhanas. We'll do just the 4 or 5 lines of the Chinrezi that's here, but we'll visualize it as the standing Chinrezi. Let's see, make sure I have it here. And then we'll do the Dhammapalas normally that we do. Okay, I do have it. We'll do the Dhammapalas that we do on Sunday, which is the day of Sunday. It's a matter of the time just goes along, doesn't it? Right? You have to look at the calendar. What time is it? What day is it? Right? But I still hope that you're staying vigilant. And again, Rinpoche uses this word, Tuku Urban Rinpoche. I will have to read you some notes about the practice of direct vigilance, partial vigilance, and non-vigilance. I don't think we have arrived at the place of non-vigilance yet. And I think it is necessary that we remain vigilant, not just in dealing with the pandemic and trying to lessen the spread and the devastating results of this pandemic, but that we stay vigilant in our own heart and our mind, in our speech, and basically our actions, and we stay vigilant in the unfoldment of our own karma. And as I was saying to myself this morning, brushing my teeth, to remain vigilant and being joyous in accepting the consequences of my own actions, which fashion this very moment. And this very moment has fashioned my sitting here, which again is the next moment. So as I thought about that, then I said, as Lama Kazi Rinpoche would say, moment to moment present. So by moment to moment and being present, I'm accepting the unfoldment of my past karma as it moves and becomes what I call present. But I'm also accepting of the unfolding of the actions or the results that come as a result, which I said, oh, my destiny is in front of me. And what is that destiny? And then it said to me, I said to myself, then therefore you must choose what destiny you wish to fashion. It is not that I'm at the mercy of some unforeseen force, even though I don't discredit or discount that possibility also, because it does seem that way sometimes. But as one quote says, those who feel they have no power are those who do not recognize the power they have given away to others. So maybe reflect for a moment and reclaim your power. Reclaim your own wisdom, your own knowledge, and maybe accepting that you are the one who is steering the ship, so to speak. And whether the water seems rough or smooth is only a perception. Rough water to one individual is smooth to an next, and vice versa. So it does come down to our perceptions and our thought patterns and our behaviors and the attitude in which we fashion going forward. So I hope you have attitudes of joyous vigilance. So sometimes, I will say, if I read a text, a blessing of loving kindness and compassion from the infinite enlightened cosmos or the infinite enlightened Buddhas and Guru Rinpoche. Then I thought, oh, why not put blessings of infinite enlightened joyousness? So may the blessings of joyousness unfold in your heart at this very moment. So going to reading last night and see if I can find it, the practice of Doji Simpa, or the practice of Vajrasattva, is what we'll do today. And give me a moment to find it. And you know how it is. You read something in the middle of the night, you look for it the next day, and it's as though it just disappeared. But so this is what it says about Doji Senpa, if I can read it here. Doji Senpa, or Vajrasattva. Make sure I have the beginning of it. You, or the primordial awareness of skillful means, the indestructible state beyond all concepts. Then realize the nature of the great mother, transcendental wisdom, free from any reference. Displaying your compassion in all its varieties, in every kind of way. Then it says, oh great Vajrasattva, to you I pay homage. So we pay homage to Doji Senpa as we will engage in that practice later on. Then it goes on to say, there is no greater practice than Vajrasattva for healing illnesses, for purifying harmful karma, for dissolving obscurations, for enhancing the long lives of the masters, for repairing impairments of vows and pleasures, for obtaining longevity, for accumulating merit, for helping those who have died, and for offering when spiritual teachers have passed away. Vajrasattva himself, in conjunction with Vajratopa. Then, so this is a promise that has been made by Doji Senpa that would engage in that which I read before. The 100-syllable mantra is the quintessence of the mind of all the Sugatas. And Sugatas means all of the enlightened ones of the past, present, and future. It purifies all samyas, or all violations, all breaches, all conceptual obscurations. It is the supreme confession, and to recite it 108 times without interruption, then repairs all breakage of samya and damsak and the breaches thereof, and will save you from tumbling into the abyss of the 3 lower realms. The Buddhas of past, present, and future will look on the practitioners who recite it as a daily practice as their most excellent children, even in this very lifetime, and will watch over and protect them. At their death, they will undoubtedly become the finest of all of the Buddha's heirs, or sons and daughters. So hopefully, we probably, maybe I asked, as my teachers have asked, to try to do at least 21 recitations every day, and to do 3 recitations as though you were saying your prayers when you were a small child. Maybe some of you did that. Your mom or dad said, did you say your prayers? You better get on that floor, put your knees down and say your prayers, boy. Now I lay me down to sleep, I would say this prayer. But now I lay my head upon my pillow and I try to make sure I don't fall asleep before I have finished the recitation of at least 3 long Vajrasattva's. Even when one is, as it says, when one is sick themselves, do long Vajrasattva. When someone else is sick, do long Vajrasattva. As we can see now, during this very challenging and time of awakening, that many of the great masters were doing the long Vajrasattva every day, among with other things. So we will do this in the Sojong, the ineffable confession. And when it says ineffable confession, and I still do this, all of my actions of the past, whether known, remembered, or forgotten, I accept and acknowledge the consequences and take the responsibility of what is unfolding as a result. And as Lama Gilek would say, it's just karma. It is samsara. And like I like to say, one of my favorite places, which you know, if you ever find a Howard Johnson's, please let me know so I can go have a strawberry milkshake and the clam sticks before I pass from this degenerate body. But it's not Howard Johnson's. You don't get to sit on the little red spinny stools and order up your favorite drink and your favorite food. It is samsara. And in samsara, it is a constant fragility, disruptive, but also it's joyous in terms of how it unfolds, as long as one doesn't think it is going to last. It is going to have its ups and downs and pleasantry and displeasantry. It is the nature of samsara, which we should contemplate. And one way, it's an odd statement, but become not indifferent to it and not disgusted with it, but merely accepting and seeing with the right cleansing of the lens, we will all see the perfection, or we will see the infinite perfection, as Adosatli said, the infinite perfection of its unfoldment, where samsara and nirvana are one and the same. So I see Raptan Brahmacharya, and already my mind is saying, samsara is Brahma, nirvana is Brahma. There is no nirvana, there is no samsara, there is no Brahma. That which can be stated is unseen and does not remain. It is only a name that points us in the direction, because when we look at all them together, they're nothing more than the same. The Upanishads. So that's why we want to do this practice. And then one more thing I want to start off today with also, before we begin, again, from Dzogchen Ponlop Rinpoche. Buddhism is a personal journey into the depths of one's heart and mind, an exploration of who we are and what we are. And I would even add the potential of what we have the capacity to become. The teachings of the Buddha shows us how to rediscover the essence and come to a full realization of that reality. Among all Buddhist paths, the lineage of the Great Seal, Mahamudra, and Dzogchen, the Great Perfection, represents the heart essence of the Buddhist teaching. Our lineage descends from both. I have studied both with great Mahamudra masters and Dzogchen masters. Undertaking the practice of either of these two paths opens the way to a profound journey. These are the lineages that provide us with the most skillful means to experience the fully awakened state and directly taste the reality of our own mind and environment. Yet the spiritual journey can be very tricky. It can start with great power, energy, intellect, skepticism, and inquisitiveness. Nonetheless, it can ultimately result in nothing more than a kind of religious based completely on blind faith. This is what we must remain vigilant about, that we do not fall into this type of lackadaisical, think we really understand and know. That is the principal danger for Buddhist practitioners, as I just stated. It is easy to fall into this trap without really noticing it. We think we are being very skeptical and inquisitive and very knowledgeable, and we have grasp and knowing. Then suddenly we find ourselves in a totally blind tradition of religious dogma. And those sometimes who have spent many years practicing, it is like an awakening. They awaken to the fact that they have appeared to dogma and they have lost their way without having a direct taste or experience and development and evolution of the path. We find ourselves in the middle of a great darkness, still walking, but not knowing where we're going. There is a tremendous need to reflect again and again on the nature of our spiritual path. So don't be lazy. Don't fall into you think you know. Thinking we know or thinking we don't know is nothing more than thinking. Gold chain, lead chain, thinking is thinking. What is our purpose in being here? We all ask, what is my purpose? Where am I going? What am I doing? What is the basic motivation that brought us to the path? Think about that for a moment. What is the basic motivation? Why are you sitting here this morning? When did that begin? Wherein lies the seed of it? Is it some program you heard or an article? Maybe you saw His Holiness the Dalai Lama, some dream. What is it that spurred and planted the seed? Perhaps it is so far buried, we don't even know, it is unseen. Then it goes on to say it is a genuine interest in awakening, in enlightenment, in freedom. I remember I saying, even as a child, there must be something beyond my ordinary perception of this reality and the unfoldment of my experience. Is this it? Is this all that this world has to offer? There must be something behind the curtain. It's like, I can't remember how many times I've seen The Wizard of Oz, and every time I would see it, I would think, I am like that, pulling the levers. But what is behind the curtain, and who's the puller of the levers? Or do we have other reasons? Some people, they want to become great scholars and they write many books, and we're so fortunate that they are done. Or they think they're going to become a famous teacher or expound upon their knowledge and their achievements, etc. Every now and then, we have to remind ourselves of our purpose and motivation. So again, what is your purpose? What is your motivation? What is truly guiding you, driving you, pushing you forth, striving you? We have to go back to the most basic question. And Lama Kazi Rinpoche would ask us, do I really want to obtain enlightenment? Am I really willing to achieve that? It is not a question of how difficult it is or how long it takes to become enlightened. The question is, do I really want to wake up from this dream? Do I really want to take responsibility for the creation of the dream? Or am I so enamored with the dream when it's even suggested that I should wake up? My ego plays so many tricks on me and deceives me and keeps me shrouded in the veil of my attachment to my own dreaming. So Lama Kazi would say to us sometimes, if the Buddha came before you and say, I lay my hand upon you, and upon me laying my hand, in that instant you will awaken and be done with samsara and enter into the enlightened realm, unfabricated, undisturbed, forever and forever. And then Lama Kaisi was so, whoa, wait a minute. What does that mean? I'm not, I'm not sure. Let me think about that. And then he said, what does that mean I have to give up? And the Buddha says, perhaps we're not at that point just yet with those questions. Buddha, please, Guru Rinpoche, come right to this moment. Put your, and I finished with this samsara, and I finished with striving something called nirvana. Nirvana and enlightenment and samsara and the suffering is nothing more than my own self-created delusion arriving from the falsity of perceptions which I create and call my illusion. That's my dreaming. So many say, I want to practice the Buddhism, but it's a fad. It's a fantasy. We're glorified by our involvement in it, as opposed to genuinely, authentically planting our feet, so to say, in the cement of the Dharma. Think about that for a moment. I'm talking to myself mostly. As you look at how things are unfolding, the reality that now we exist in, it's no different than it was before. It's just as tenuous, just as fragile, just as fraught with difficulty, but also there's great blessings and happiness and joyousness and a wonderful union of people coming together and expressing the primordial quality that all the great masters said, inner compassion, spontaneously arising, inner wisdom and knowledge coming forth in an unprecedented way. We see it happening around the globe now. So we have a global unity of compassion and kindness and concern and open heart and goodwill being expressed. If it wasn't already there, it couldn't come out. It is like the water that seemingly has been clouded, but when left to stand still, finds its clarity. And so maybe that's why the word of apocalypse, the awakening to recognize and to express and to live in what is already there. We are already enlightened. That which we are striving for, like trying to find the glasses on the head or having the keys in the hand, no wonder we can't find them, because we already have them within. So we're being asked at this moment to awaken to that which is within. And to awaken is to be enlightenment within, to be enlightened, to shine the light on that which is within, is how I also play with that word. So are you really doing that? And when I say really, I'm asking me. You can decide whether you ask you. You are not lost. You are not in the dark. The lost and the dark and the unknowing and confusion and all those things are nothing more than the constructs of the trickery, as Rinpoche just is, the trickery of the ego. The ego says, oh, well, I can't do this now. Well, this is too difficult. Well, I don't understand this now, and so forth and so on. And the ego has like one of those, emojis, the sad face. But behind the sad face, the ego is going, got you. Come with me now. Leave that stuff alone. Why are you messing with me? I must exist. I am your Lord. I am your master. But somehow deep inside, we know doesn't feel just right. And the ego says once again, not to worry. Come with me. I will guide thee. I don't listen to this trickery as I watch myself jump up and down, bobbing around like a foolish clown, following the falsity of a masked ego, which I must rip off the mask so I can see clearly my own self revealed in all of its joyous kindness and compassion that is already there within each and every one of us. This I make a prostration to the Buddha. Buddha speaking to me this morning as I do the prostrations outside. Please give me your knowledge. Please give me your wisdom. May I understand. Where am I going? Lead me. Hold my hand. So this is how I think. I don't know how you think. You must make your own assessment. And don't be fooled as you continue on your path and thinking, knowing that thinking is what will drag you down. Gold chain, lead chain. Do not be fooled by your own trickery. Open your eyes and awaken, as Doko Ergen Rinpoche would say, that you will see that there is nothing to see. In that moment, you truly begin to see. So anyway, having said maybe nothing at all other than to babble to my own self, to eradicate my own delusion. If it makes some sense to you, then this is good. If it makes no sense to you, then please excuse my own ignorance. So I think of my teacher, which I have picture right in front of me all the time. And I say, most precious Guru, please think of me. Bestow the blessings that will free and ripen my mind, so that I may realize as quickly as possible for the benefit of all sentient beings. Most precious Guru, please think of me. Bestow the blessings that will free and ripen my mind, so that I may realize as quickly as possible for the benefit of all sentient beings. Most precious Guru, please think of me. Bestow the blessings that will free and ripen my mind, so that I may realize as quickly as possible for the benefit of all sentient beings. Having said that, is now you make the refuge. Who is making refuge? Are you truly, or are you just mouthing words? And sometimes even I've told students at some time, if that is all you're doing, then please go for a walk. Rinpoche says, you want to have deep meditation, you want to zone out, just take a 2x4, whack yourself in the head, have a good stiff drink, Jack Daniels, and lay back and take it easy. We do this type of delusion, maybe more productive. But if you really want to do, it's like it said, then perseverance. I keep thinking about, oh, perseverance. To perseverance, persevere with vigilance, but never forsake loving kindness and compassion and joyousness. No matter how difficult it may come, even now I visualize, how shall I meet the moment of departure? At least I hope it will be graceful, maybe in my sleep, something like that, or hopefully sitting upon my seat. How it will come, I don't know, but I must practice now so I will know what to do as it unfolds. So every moment is practicing to not delude myself and to rise above my own self-created illusion. And therefore I take refuge. Everything I see in my little space here, I take refuge. Namo lama lagab zojo, senga lagab zojo, jo lagab zojo, yena lagab zojo, ama lagab zojo, senga lagab zojo, jo lagab zojo, yena lagab zojo, ama lagab zojo, senga lagab. Jo lagab zojo, yena lagab zojo, ama lagab zojo, senga lagab zojo, jo lagab zojo, yena lagab zojo, ama lagab zojo, senga lagab zojo, jo lagab zojo, yena lagab zojo, ama lagab zojo, senga lagab zojo, jo lagab zojo. Ama lagab zojo, senga lagab zojo, jo lagab zojo, yena lagab zojo, ama lagab zojo, senga lagab zojo, jo lagab zojo, yena lagab zojo. Lama lagab zojo, senga lagab zojo, jo lagab zojo, yena lagab zojo, lama lagab zojo, senga lagab zojo, jo lagab zojo, yena lagab zojo, lama lagab zojo, senga lagab zojo. Lama lagab zojo, senga lagab zojo, jo lagab zojo, yena lagab zojo, lama lagab zojo, senga lagab zojo, jo lagab zojo, yena lagab zojo, lama lagab zojo, senga lagab zojo, lama lagab zojo, senga lagab zojo, jo lagab zojo, yena lagab zojo, lama lagab zojo, senga lagab zojo, jo lagab zojo, yena lagab zojo. Lama laga dojo, senga laga dojo, jo laga dojo, yena laga dojo, lama laga dojo, senga laga dojo, jo laga dojo, yena laga dojo, lama laga dojo, senga laga dojo, jo laga dojo, yena laga dojo. So for those who may be viewing this, in having been in many monasteries, China, Nepal, India, etc., even Bali, not everyone knows the liturgy or the prayers, and they know, if we say the householders or the laity, um, they come because they know it is meritorious and beneficial just coming and being present. So if you have arrived at this session this morning and you're not as familiar with all the various prayers and what they're doing, don't get caught up in that. Just be present. As I said to someone a couple of days ago, it is important just to be present in the moment, to be present at the event. When you go to the great concert hall and you listen to the music of Mozart or Brahms or Beethoven or some great master, Yo-Yo Ma, should sit down. You don't know their training. You don't know every note, how they came to create it, but you sit there in the presence, to be in the presence of the artistry, in the presence of that unfolding of creativity. So in the same way, this is like coming to the concert hall, the Lakan, the meditation hall. And just by the fact that we have given that time, right? Generosity, we give the time. So let your mind rest and just be present. And in that presentness, we have a thought. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to liberate them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to transcend them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. Buddha's enlightened way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to liberate them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to transcend them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. Buddha's enlightened way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. Sentient beings are numberless. I vow to liberate them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to transcend them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. Buddha's enlightened way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. And again, the words are meaningless if you only mouth the words. Even in the Nundro, you say Guru Rinpoche, I'm not just mouthing these words. I truly mean these words. You are my only provider, protector, my guide, my savior. I turn to you, good, bad, or indifferent. I mean that. I have again and again my only refuge. I don't know if you are arriving at that level yet. And you have to inject yourself, so to speak, again and again and again with a certain thought. And then you examine it. It just says you don't fool yourself. You examine it. You question it. Be skeptical. But that doesn't mean you just stay there and roll around like in the mud of skepticism and disbelief. At some point, you must stand up from the mud and use it as a foundation and look around and see how much there is to believe in, how much beauty there is, compassion and joy, how much hope there is, how much light there is. And perhaps you will recognize that it's coming from you. So having said that, then I visualize, like even thanks to Jay Chen, now I have one of my favorite, the tankas, so I can look and see the 8 celestial bodhisattvas and the 8 arhat bodhisattvas. And to them, I appeal when I say the Tashigeva. Zom Nanze Nande Ranze Ndru Taji Tojo Sanga Somba Ye Zange Dodan Yedon Babe Zon Konga Tazo Tajo Taji Zo Drome Garubo Zande Tondo Tambe Garuba Yidrar Badamba Gondar Bomba Taji Dabaje Lubo daba dadra badane zenzen chande lago dambate nzeje jeba zera dambate zanzon dube daje pavewa njewa jeba gela zazalo jamba jundur kabde doje jenre jenwon gombo jambe ba zaye genbo tempa namba Namga Nimbo Bajor Gondon Buba Doji Parga Gonzena Nubu Dawa Rede Namaye Zaze Lana Daje Pacheto Janjo Samba Yela Zazalo Rinzen Jojo Daje Tojena Dunjon Bonjon Gangon Gomana Nanda Dundon Dundon Bariru Nino Tanzen Wango Dundo De Rinjen Tojo Gigi Tajen Jojo Riewa Jojen Gigi Ma Jeto Tango Tembe Tawe Daye Namo Gela Tazalo Zamba Jumbo Tenjo Tembe Medon Donda Lambo Nondo Maga Nindo Dova Mendo Nando de Dodo Daje Nondo Bonda Zeme Doro Rando Tonde Gapsen Zazo Nejo Gele Daje Jene Joa Gela Tazalo Tato Dende Joa Tumbala Geda Juma Juma Dunjo Nye Dondo Bebe Zendon Nye Do Tashi Dele Bunzo Zumba Then we should visualize, we're using our imagination from the great bodhisattvas. We are receiving the blessings in the form of light, that what we desire, we shall achieve. We shall be of benefit to all sentient beings, that we shall recognize the intrinsic nature of our own enlightened mind for that end, to be of benefit to them. That is our motivation. Your motivation and your intent, if it is clear, no matter how small the action may be, it will result vast merit. It says the merit generated will be greater than all of the grains of sand upon all of the oceans throughout the universe. I know that's a lot to fathom, to bring into one's consciousness, but that's what it says in many texts. The thing that erodes that is the culprit, as I mentioned earlier, ego. Really? The ego says, really? That doesn't make any sense. How can that be? So the skeptic ego, fabricated from within, arises, and whatever good that may come out of our practice is slashed, discounted, and pushed away. Because we don't, even sitting last night, the feeling, release the shackles and the bonds. Let your heart open. Let it soar. Let it go beyond the ground. Why are you so afraid to invest in a moment of your own self-created realities when we put so much effort into discounting the realities that present itself in front of ourselves because we twist and bind and lock up our heart? So as the old masters and the old preachers, as they say, how can you feel if you don't open your heart? And you open your heart by looking within and letting go. But we're so afraid. We hold on so tight. No wonder we can't breathe in the middle of the night. Shanti Deva. Jonam Jele Gele John Delon Zebezo. Gola Gombo Ganyamba, Chenjo Chembo Digezo. Dova Dabda Samba Yi Sange Dodan Gedona, Chenjo Nipo Jigeba. Dabada Ne Gabzo Jira Nanze Danje Pe, Stone Pe, Chenjo Dunduna.
Sange dondo nege de zombe gentle zimge do. Jeze namba namba da do wa jeje nego pa jeje do je nego ne do wa de sa wa so. Chonam jele gele jonde jonde de de zongo la gombo kanyan pa jenzo jembo jige zo. Do wa da samba ye sange do dange don la jende nebo jige ba. Da ba da ne gap zu ji she rap nan je dan je be zombe jenje dondo da. Sange dondo nege de zombe jenzo sange do jeze nanga namba nando. Jeze nego ba jeze do je nego ne do wa da ga zo wa zo. Jonam jele gele jonje jonje je be zongo la gongo kanyan ba. Junjo jumbo jige jondo wa da samba ye sange do dange don la. Jenjo nebo jige ba ta ne gap zo ji she rap nan je dan je be zombe jenje dondo da. Sange dondo nege de jombe chenzo senge do jeze namba da. Do wa jeze nego ba jeze do je nego ne. Do wa derga all phenomena arise from their causes. Their causes are explained by the Buddha. Cessation of these causes too are taught us by the great sage. With a wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Enthused by wisdom and compassion today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind for full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain and dispel the misery and the suffering and the causality of all infectious diseases that bring harm to sentient beings throughout all of samsara we call the world, through loving kindness and compassion, joyousness and equanimity and knowledge and wisdom. I add to Shanti Deva, excuse me, I don't think you would mind though. So again, let the words seep into your bones. One great actor, from Shakespearean actor, this every word has weight. Give every word its due. Randall Duck Kim. So who gave the weights to the words? Who said, this is what I mean? This is what I will do. Through lifetime after lifetime, the Buddha accomplished for the sake of all. Dabge junje zage renjun jun, jorge munju dungge junjun ba. Jorge numbo jewa jebegu zage gobo chula tsatsa go. Dayata omune mune mahamune yesuwa. Dayata 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 mune mahamune yesuwa. You should visualize Buddha is above your head. You're receiving the blessings in the form of white, red, and blue and yellow coming and opening up the body, the speech, the mind, and your wisdom, your knowledge and wisdom. Again, you visualize receiving the blessings of the Buddha. Again, you have to create in your own mind. Sometimes maybe we want to wait until the sky is going to open up and some flash of lightning or thunderbolt is going to come. Maybe it happens like that in some extraordinary rare moment. I don't know. But I do know that one can create that within their own mind. That you recognize that potentiality, that ability within this mind, this consciousness, that is this great jewel. That is the jewel in the heart. That is the lotus or in the heart, our consciousness itself, that has all of these enlightened qualities present at this moment. So lotus, moon disk, crystal, flower is radiant. In the 10 direction is flowing out, up and down, front and back, left and right, and diagonals. You must connect to the enlightenment, the light within. Enlightenment. It's an interesting word, don't you think? Sometimes we only connect to the darkness within. But the only reason we can connect to the darkness within is because the light is there unseen, veiled from our eyes, because we fear to look deeper. My teacher says, go deeper. Radiate the light of loving kindness, compassion on the out-breath. On the in-breath, draw in the veiled shadows of darkness all of the obscurations, hindrance, defilements, impurities, where they dissolve into the flower of your heart and come to their own essence as they always were. Just focus on that. Don't count the breath. Just be aware, radiant quality of loving kindness and drawing in all the negativity without fear. Practice. Then as you're radiating loving kindness and compassion, think of someone you truly care for, someone you love for, someone that touches your heart. Let that feeling surround you within and without. Then as you continue that, now think of someone that you go, every time I see this person, I put on the fakey smiley face, but really I want them to go away and continue walking, walk in another place. I don't want to be around that person. Generate loving kindness to them. Then perhaps there's someone, you pass them every day. As you walk upon your way, you do not even take the time to see who they are. You don't know. You continue, and now loving kindness to them. The one I love, the one I don't care for and call enemy, and the one I am different. Make no discriminating quality, non-discriminating, spontaneously arising loving kindness and compassion for all sentient beings, including yourself. Then as you breathe out, that feeling of loving kindness which you generated from women stays in your bones, stays in your heart. It's not all of a sudden it went away, it was always there. Having received the blessings, yourself and others, you say, Lama Yeshe Geta Jejowa, didn't it? Denba Janya Meda da Jowa Bunzon Zombaja, Rene Sendi Yonzo, Dene Senge Demba Yen. Giwa di Nudu, Zagi Gelbo Duju Ne, Oman Yanuba, Dene Shela, you. Then you visualize Guru Pache coming above your head. Oh, again, you jin zan bema geza tambola jaten joji goju ne bema june zazura. Gudur gando mambo gege zazura rugi change la she zazuzu. Guru bema siti hong again, you jin zan. Bema geza dombola jaten joji goju ne bema june zazura. Gudurgando mambogu gege zazu darugi chenje laje zazu Guru Bema Siti Ong Ergen Yuji Nazaza Bema Geza Dombola Jazen Joji Guru Ne Bema June Zazura Gudu Nando Mambogu Gege Zazu darugi chenje laje zazu Guru Bema Sidi Ong Again Yuji Nazaza Bema Geza Dombola Yazen Joji Guru Bema June Zazura Guru Nundo Mabugur Yegi Zazuda Rugi Genji Laje Zazuzo Guru Bema Sidi. Konjo nyanda yende jende ge yeje ngenje do wajibe go doji zera nazo zo zo lama lo zo zo gla zo wade Again, Betma, Janela, so what, Mede, then Betanga, to Jumbo, to wait on Laja. Galar, the Derge, don't do it, Damajo, the Dunzonge, Nama, to beg, good lads, so what, Bonnie and Betma, Janela, so what. Gunzon, Dozon, get up, Betma, get up, and not to Sujung Aratundung Azuzur Tatar Amanama Zuada Zenlet and Beturje Trunetan Doje Nundo Betoria Narudum Badum Betuzungi Kode Kugu Tobe Nujemba Reme Uzo Shala Zuada Zeje Nunje Rula Treme Uzo Nandunzo Uzarunje Namge Najoba Jemele Shala Zuada Dusun Gunyan Petma Jenge Zutu Guzo Gulu Senge Tenge Dundu Pejun Dun Gundun Zembe Zetla Zuwade Omen Chogi Genge Budanga Duzu Samge Guje Gulu Renzen Gugu Gundu Dunze Be Sowe Lama Namla Zuwade Rumen Jogi Yogi Bodandu Duzu Zamge Goji Gogu Nevranzem Gogu Gunzu Dunzeba Zoe Lame Zetla Zoade Biwa Gundu Yandan Lamadan Jube Jogi Bala Dojojan Sadam Nanje Ranjo Nezo Ne Doji Jinji Gofan Go to Om a a I I u re re le le e e o o hanga kada kada na za za na kada kada na ba ma ya wala wa sha ga sa sha ome danama hidu baro hidu da ga ta ha yo wata da gan sa yun baro ha eva mene maha samana so ha Badra Samaya Za Za Om Ritsa Ramani Bhava Daye Soha Badra Samaya Za Za Om Badra Amrita Kundale Hana Om Then you summons the deity, Jugna Ranro. Ranjing in you only also to the Lama da it's of maybe Gunjan Jorge Gabo, Donjon, Dutzer Gabzo, Medzo, or maybe Guman Don Ginam Gabaza Sama. Yes, Sange Dodan, Jogi Jonamla, Gento Batu, Dani Gatuji. Daji Jinzo Gebezo Nange, Jola Benze Zenge Jobajo. Sange Dodan, Jogi Jonamla, Gento Badu, Dani Gatuji. Daji Jinzo Gebezo Nange, Jola Benze Zenge Jobajo. Sange Dodan, Jogi Jonamla, Gento Badu, Dani Gatuji. Daji Jinzo Gebezo Nange, Jola Benze Zenge Jobajo. Za ba mo zojena ramba temba good. So the descent of blessings. So now I've already set up the white and red toma, so I'll do. Om Baja Mahasure Haragar Ho Dene Doji Torwa Gudu Se Ram Yanga. Om Savarva Zudo Zarva Dharma Sube Zudo no Tome Dende Dende Rinpoche Neyen Geje Nondo Dharma Doro Doro Sopata Jango Zo Jango Oma Ho Soma Ho Oma Ho Lume Bate Saparida Rarba Zatsamaza Sadana Bate De Jepanan Lancha Namoza Batataga Daba Yemijumube, Saba Data Mogate Sapa Rana Miran Kamasoha. Namoza Batataga Daba Yemijumube, Saba Data Mogate Sapa Rana Miran Kamasoha. Namoza Batataga Daba Yemijumube, Saba Data Mogate Sapa Rana Kamasoha. Ye Gatana Ne Ladon Nodo Tembo Gatana. Don't do de do de ge de da do do da na de la do then da ge do da do de ge de da na de la do then do da do de ge de da do Kume pate ya Maza Maha Sri Arargo, Dene Doji Turva Goju, Luse Ram Yanga, Zonzo Araba Zuto, Zarava Dharma Sube Zuto, Junme Nende Rinpoche, Ninjin Gejewe, Nando Dorma Doro, Bunzo Zobo, Tajan Gozo Jimbo, Oma Ho, Zoma Ho. Om Ahum Saraputraga Saraja Saraputraga Saraja Om Saba Mingene Namo Saba Dataga Tapaya Mishu Mukube Saba Tatamogate Saparana Iram Garana Kam Koreana Iram Kalinda Aye Soha Om Saba Mingene Namo Saba Dataga Tapaya Mishu Mukube Saba Nugate Saparana Iram Gurihana Iram Balinda yes, Om Saba Mingene, Nomo Saba Datagata, Imishu Mugude, Saba Tatamogate, Saparana, Inam Grana, Grihana, Inam Balenda, yes, Sinjan Samje Jawa Dan, Dova Gunda, Dova Guji, Dorianda, Doriege, Gonda, Dova Guji, Dorianda, Doriege, Gonda, Dova Guji, Nine, Tendana, Deva, Nese, Bedmela, Namba Guji. Sinjan Samje Jawa Dan, Deva Gunda, Dova Guji, Dorianda, Doriege, Gonda, Dova Guji, Dorieme, Demba, Demba, Medewa Guji, Nine Tendanda, Dewa Nesete Melana Maguji. Senjen Jamje Deva Dan, Dewa Gunda, Duba Guji, Dorgenda, Doriegi, Gunda Duba Guji, Dorge Mebe, Demba, Dembanda, Medewa Guji, Nine Tendanda, Dewa Nesete Melana Maguji. Om Ah Do Om Do Do 7 branch. Jozo Wanze Zonje Jiwa Tan Jeje Ringe Wenze Zowa Yer Yowa Teze Taje Zuje Pa Chenze Zoba Tanje Jigu. Then you want to offer something very precious, then offer cloud banks of offering and put one big jewel right in the middle, your ego. I give my ego right in the middle. My ego's emerald and the diamond and the sapphire and all the precious all packed together in one nice little package called ego. I give away. I wish like this. Sashi Poji, Georgia Major Drum, River and Say Nade, somebody singing and the middle, Buba Yi, don't give the in that Jubasho. You don't run the Mandulaga that I am Sashi Poji, Georgia Major Drum, River and Say Nade, somebody singing and the middle, Buba Yi, don't give in that Jubasho. You don't run the Mandulaga that I am. Sashi Poji, Georgia Major Drum, River and Say Nade, somebody singing in the middle, Buba Yi, don't give in that Jubasho. You don't run the Mandulaga that I am. Umbaduzata Samaya, Manubagaya, Baduzadu Nova, Zudogaya Nagova, Zudogaya Nagova, Amarada Nagova, Nova Zidin Nebraya, Zudum Zudum Guru, Bhagavan, Samaya Satu. So we have those two lines of those two prayers together we can do. First, we want to summons Dugnarando, please, you come and be present in all of your manifestations. Vadra Samaya Dugnarando la Zoade, Jino Dawajen. Neto babe kondrajen rodra jige donero dendro nyone nonje na ade budra So we should know the visualization, seeing ourselves as the deity, etc. We can go more on this on Monday and Thursday if you ask, please. Then the offerings. Om Badra Argam Bhadram Dupe Dupe Aloge Kande Yawade Shata Rupa Shata Gande Raja Jeva Shata Namadata Utsakaye Om Mani Bene Om Om Mani Beme 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 Zomane beme omre omane 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 beme Zomane beme omre omane 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 Zomane beme omre omane beme omre omane beme omre omane You must not, again, don't just mumble and move your beats. You must focus your mind on yourself as the deity and focus on the interior Samasatra, Janasatra, seed syllable. Focus in your heart space that the radiant light, like from a star, is going out in the 10 directions to truly benefit. Umane beme humre, umane beme humre, umane beme humre, umane beme humre. Zumane beme humre, umane beme humre, umane beme humre, umane beme Zumane beme humre, umane beme humre, umane Zumane beme humre, umane beme humre, umane beme Zumane beme humre, umane beme humre, umane beme Zumane beme humre, umane beme humre, umane beme humre, umane beme Zumane beme humre, umane beme humre, Zomane beme humre, umane beme humre, umane Zomane beme humre, umane beme humre, umane beme Zomane beme humre, umane beme humre, umane beme Zomane beme humre, umane beme humre, umane beme humre Zomane beme humre, umane beme humre, umane Zomane beme humre, umane beme humre Zomane beme humre, umane beme humre Zomane Focus your mind. Somane beme hungry. Zoom I u rebe lele o anga. Kaka ganga zaza zanya tata 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 baba pama yawala wa shaka za ja. Umba de zata zama ya mano bada ya badu zata zeno ba de 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 no wa de de ya no wa de de ya no wa ana da no wa. Bawa de de lebe ya de zara mama de 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 Shara da 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 mane muzo na de baba ma sama ya ta do wa. Une kama hit baba wa hit da 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 ya wa de de la hit do wa. Ye ma mane ma ha sama na go. Then go to the inexpressible or ineffable absolute confession. And as we said earlier, so we're going to do the long way and we do all the prayers. It starts with the Hun Yeshe. If you have, fine. If not, don't worry. Like I said earlier, just the fact that you are present during the session is creating merit because you are doing it not just for yourself, but you're doing it to awaken to that inner enlightened quality, as I stated earlier, for the benefit of all the sentient beings. So, and then you can think, oh, whatever has occurred in the past, whatever has occurred in the present, I acknowledge, and now I engage in the fourfold supportive way of restoring all that I've said that I would do. Yeje yelo jeje yabda do teme gu enza sama yaza. So you can just visualize again all of the Buddhas, past, present, all the deities they have assembled, and in the form of Doji Sempa or Vajrasattva, Vajratopa, in which the 48 peaceful and 52 wrathful deities have assembled. doje doje danje gondo su doje 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 no ma doje doje do namo doje do ba de wa je do ba de doje doje na gondo no na me ba do ma do doje ta ga tam ze doje ne dan dan dambe dambe damze dan de jo je no je ne yo zo nyo ne me no no wa me do je do la je de no je ne do ja da jo no je ne be me lo ye no do ne go so so an do wa da so jo ne do da me wan de de jo da me jo do te da zo zodo mezo mare moye na no ba tana tana rewa de na jo yenje danje yamba na jo yenje done te te ye la shanje toda mezo te change tombe yanza yawa na dojen de me donje me do de no no donde yamba yamba na nana dona ne la donye da ye la yenje ne be donye zo de don doje ne ba tenda de no do donye tama yamba zo de no de donye donye na renda do be sende do la za de be donye la la donye don ne ne la de go de Bene done ne do zoma no ne me done done sado zo na do da ne de la de ma na do do ya ya me ba de yo zen gonje jo me zanye no do ma done done zo ba so Badrazada Samaya, Manubalaya, Badrazada Menova, Nabova, Sudogaya Nabova, Sudogaya Nabova, Anarado Nabova, Sawaziri Nebrea de Zaranama Zudume, Zitam Siram Guru Home, Ahaho, Bhagavan, Sawadada Gata Badramane Mudu, and the Pavana Samaya, Sadua, Badrazada Samaya, Manubalaya, Badrazada. Dudu Mabua, Zudogaya Mabua, Zubogaya Mabua, Anaradu Mabua, Zawazini Mabria, Zaramazu, Zetum Surum Guru Home, Ha, O Bhagavan, Sawadada, Badraman, Buddha, and the Bhavana, Sama, Zadu, Badrazadu Samaya, Manobaya, Badrazadu, and Oba, Zudogaya Mabua, Zubogaya Mabua, Anaradu Mabua, Zawazini Mabria, Zaramazu, Zetum Surum Guru Home, Ha, O Bhagavan, Sawadada, Badraman, Samaya Sadua, Badu Zada Samaya, Manobalaya, Badu Zadu Nanoba, Tudogaya Maboa, Zubogaya Maboa, Anuradu Maboa, Savasidi, Bria to Saranamas, Titum Serum Guru Hong, Ha, O Bhagavan, Sawadada, Badramani, Mudom, and the Pavama Sama, Sadua, Badu Zadu Samaya, Manobalaya, Badu Zadu Nanoba, Zudogaya Maboa, Zubogaya Maboa, Anaradu Maboa, Savazidi, me breaka to Saranama Zudume, Sidum Sirum Guru, Saradada, Badramani, Muzov, and the Boa, Samaya, Zadua, Badrazada, Samaya, Manovaya, Badrazada, Dudu Maboa, Zudogaya Maboa, Zubogaya Maboa, Anaradu Maboa, Savazidi, me breaka to Saranama. Sidum Sirum Guru Hong, Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan, Sarada Tagada Badramane Muzo Mende Bhavama, Samaya Satu, Zombada Zada Zamaya Manovala Yamada Zadunova, Didunova, Handarada Nebua. Zawazidi Mebrea, Zaragama Zudume, Zidum Sidum Guru Hong, Ha Ho Bhagavan, Sarada Tagada Badramane Muzo Mende Bhavama, Samaya Zadua, Umbada Zada Zamaya Manovala. Maboa, Zodogaya Maboa, Zodogaya Maboa, Anarada Maboa, Sarada Gata Badramani Muzo, and the Bavana Zamaya, the Wamada Zamaya, So again, that you're not just mumbling words, turning your wheel and moving your beats, but as you're reciting, it's as though we're using sonic wash. We'll call it sonic sound wash, that the vibrations of the recitation is cleansing and purifying, and that starting at the top, all the negativity, the fear, the worry, the uncertainty, the stress, the tension, obscurations, hindrance, defilements, negative karmic action, and disease. I'm like the cloth being washed, and it's turning translucent white as a reflection of the deity. Everything is going down, being absorbed into the earth as it opens. Yama and his entourage are waiting for me. But I said, not today. Here, you can have all of my debris. It will change into Amrita, like great jewels I give to thee. Please consume and let me be free. So was it in my bag? I thought I was the message. So was it in a bag? I thought I was the message.
Focus your mind, focus your mind, focus on your mind. Don't wander about. No, Zumbaduzada Samaya Manubadaya Baduzadu de Nova de so was it in the Bay of the Zara Zumbaduzada Samaya Manubadaya Baduzadu de Nova Honorable Mabu was over the Bay of the Zara. Zumbaduzada Samaya Manubadaya Baduzadu de Nova de Nova. So was it in the Bay of the but the Zadudano, but this is the Bobas of the so the Zero home. So Yama was over Yama Boba, Marada Boba, Samaya Zadua, Umbadu Zadu Samaya, the Magoa Zudoga, Yamagoa, Zudoga, Yamagoa, the Red so what I got about animals of the Boma, Samaya Zadua, Sudoga Yamagoa, Zudoga Yamagoa, and the Red Magoa, so was it in the so what I got about animals of the Boma, Samaya Zadua, Honorable was over the Mega so that I got over my name is over the Honorable was over the Mega Sedum zerum guru hung ha o bhagavan zavada gata varuna nimuzo vende bhavama zamaya mado bhavaya mado zaru deno bha dedu dedu me bhava zuru gaya me bhava anarada me bhava zavada me bhega zara sedum zerum guru hung ha o bhagavan zavada gata varuna nimuzo vende bhavama zamaya mado zaru zamaya mado bhavaya mado zaru Dedu Mabua Zodogaya Mabua Zobagaya Mabua Anarado Mabua so was it in Mabria Zaragama Zodome Sedum Zidim Guru oh Sarada Gata Rumenimuz of the Boma Samaya Satua Badruzata Samaya Manavalaya Badruzata Nenova Dedu Mabua Zodogaya Mabua Zogaya Mabua Anarado Mabua so was it in Mabria Zaragama Zodome Sedum Sedum Guru Hum Ha Bhagavan Sawadata Varana Nimuzo Bente Bhava Maha Samaya Satu Tam de bu dage jona jonde amre jonde yeje jonde toba bu nande jonde toma nande jonde toba bu nonjo toba de jonde da jeme rada mare jonda bu da je toba jewa toba je je toba bu ala la je se su namye dadu daye zende na mabe zendo zundu dundu de
Ama dodo jenje malu ba jenje jume sola jemba jo. Badu zadu zamaya manu balaya badu zadu denova dedu dedu megowa sudogaya megowa sudogaya megowa anaradu megowa dawasiri medraya zaragama dudume setum serum guru hum ha o bhagavan lavada gata badana megowa zadu badu zadu zamaya manu balaya badu zadu denova dedu dedu megowa sudogaya megowa Honorado Nagova, the Ozine Mebraya, the Zorangama, Dhamapala, Dhamapala. Namo Guru Be, Namo Guru Be, Namo Guru Be. Zule Benza Herar Kabre Unjo Be. Dene Babze Done Ranjan Dobe Doje Nonde Sojo Damze Yeje Yime Duze Dren. Meze Nange Zoge Guru.
Do not suppress, analyze, follow, or chase after arising thoughts. When thoughts arise, recognize, look to the thinker, not the thought. The space and the clouds support each other. Without space, where would the clouds form? And the clouds, without the space, where could they be? They're interdependent. The space is the primordial ground of the arising and the elemental forces that bring the clouds into play, in the same way that in the primordial ground of our mind and its spontaneous presence awareness, our thoughts arise. Mistakenly, we do not recognize the quality or the ground of those thoughts, and they solidify, and as though they are the reality in and of themselves. In the same way, when the clouds arise, dwell, and cease within the space we call the sky, that space has not been altered or changed, relatively speaking. In the same way, when thoughts arise within our mind, the primordial ground, and the awareness and the unity of the two has not been altered. Not knowing that, we stray from the innate enlightened quality or the realized quality within our own mind. Recognize the unity of space and luminosity or emptiness and clarity, or emptiness and knowing. When recognized, do not make a concept. It is not conceptualization. It is a letting go. Just open like flower. Let go. Release. Then you ask, who is releasing? That's thinking. What am I releasing into? That is thinking. Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? That is thinking. All we want to do is think, think, think. I think I know. I think I understand. I think I don't understand. I think I don't know. No wonder we're so exhausted and confused. Let go. Unfabricated, without changing, altering, grasping, clinging, fixating. Take the rocks off your back. Rest in the vastness of the view. The questions and the thinking that's arising in your mind at this moment, just an illusions like vapor, like clouds, not impeding the sky. Let them go. Don't ride them. Release. Always trying to figure out. I want to understand. I don't know. It's so difficult to let go. We are practicing holding on, practicing in our own delusion, our own fabrication. We are enamored with ourselves, good, bad, or indifferent. Enlightenment, freedom, realization, freedom. They're just words. Do not be bound by the falsity of words. Go beyond concept and rest. Breathing in, breathing out. Short way. Om Suti Singhe Renzenge Gubule Niliga Bayi Jubana Jebenden Zungun Dunyan and Trina Mese Google got dirty. Dudam got so tremble Guji. Out and the make what's it about? Gideon Yoa, Gigi Yoa, the Shumalo Zunza Dundune, Nunduzungation Lajo Pajo, Timbe Bagula Meji Bende, Duzenge was a dinner like a Timbe Nundu, Danju Bage, Timba your ring, a beta Shijo. Tutembe Dangelo Jamba, Zedutembe Nandajimili, Zume Lame Tambazi Deba, Zedudu Zungumbe Zenguji, Jinzo Zenjo Boje, Mageba Namge Guji, Kepa Nambane Baye, Kone Kontu Babuso, Lazo Daye, don't wait on Doju, Goyando do Shembeji Dojo, Nantare Bale, Megunzo, Dumbaran Datashi, Dale Show, Dayata, Unga de Gate Peregate. Taya tamunga de gati beregati, beresum gati botisoa. Taya tamunga de gati beregati, beresum gati botisoa. Taya tamunga de gati beregati, beresum gati botisoa. Let go, let be. Oma hum soha, oma hum soha, oma hum soha. So again, maybe some you didn't understand one thing we did. Good. Give up understanding. I'm glad you don't understand. We always want to understand, and look where understanding has got us, right? Granted, we need to investigate with wisdom and knowledge. I'm only talking to me. We investigate with the blind eye of ignorance and desire and anger and all of the rest of the impediments, and we lead ourselves into the falsity of I know, I know. I don't know anything. I've come to understand that for sure. That's what I understand. I don't know. So, but just being present, you have given 2 hours. I'm going to be present. Take the time out of my busy days, and I'm going to focus on something other than just myself. How I may be of service to others. How might I alleviate the suffering and the fear and the uncertainty
and all those things that are going on at this time with others. But also, how may I be a catalyst to bring about happiness and joy and relief and healing and support and all of those positive things which all of you have been doing. So remember, it's 50-50. You can focus on the negative, which we attend and well practice to do, or we can focus on the negative, which we're so afraid to do. Please, for the rest of this day, may you go in peace. May you have a pleasant day. May you focus on that which is joyous. And may that be your guide that leads you on your destiny and your way. Thank you for the time today. Thank you for your practice. Have some tea now. Bye-bye. We'll see you tomorrow.